Today we'll be talking about how and when to contact the FNHA Manager and, if it's after hours or on the weekend, the leader on call. Even if you've worked in FNHA facilities before, because this guideline is new, we encourage you to watch this video and contact us if you have any questions. Firstly, when should you access the FNHA Manager or leader on call? We will talk a little bit later on regarding which of these situations would require a phone call versus which would require an email. Please note that these situations and steps apply to both the FNHA Manager as well as the leader on call. The only difference being if it is during business hours, you will contact the manager, and if it is after hours or on the weekend, you will contact the leader on call. Critical incidents are the main reason you would access the FNHA Manager or leader on call. These would include unexpected or traumatic crisis events, such as major accidents, multiple traumas, or mental health crises, unexpected deaths, safety and security situations. These involve any threats or harm to community, clients, nurses, or staff. Next, transport or medevac issues. This would be if there are significant delays or challenges in transport that impact client care and safety. Environmental or facility incidents. These would be flood, fire, earthquake, tsunamis, etc., as well as significant power outages immediately affecting clinic operations. Staffing and clinic operations. This would involve OT approvals, nurse not arriving to community as scheduled, or nurse unable to leave community. It would also include incidences requiring operations to shift to emergencies only. So what should you do first if faced with any of the situations I just mentioned? The first step is to access your local resources. We will talk more about this in a moment. After accessing your local resources, you will need to formulate the situation into SBAR and then determine if you should call or email. Let's talk about problem solving at the local level. As with situations that require professional judgment, you will need to discuss with your colleagues. If after hours or on the weekend, you will first contact your second on call. Your next point of contact would then be the nurse in charge, if there's one currently in your community. Some questions to discuss would be, has this occurred before? How is the situation usually handled? And what resources are available locally? You may also need to reach out to those resources, such as first responders, the health director, CHR, or RCMP. Part of the discussions that you will have with your second and NIC will be if it is best to call or email the manager or leader on call. Things that should be a phone call are critical incidents, safety incidents, or things that impact operations, such as a clinic closing except for emergencies. Things that could be an email are staffing concerns and anything else that the manager or leader should be notified of, but that you don't need immediate help with. The leader on call schedule can be found posted in the clinic as well as on the gathering space. Locating this calendar should be part of your clinic orientation when you first arrive. Whether you are calling or emailing, you will need to format your communication into SBAR. As when using SBAR to consult with a physician or NP, it's helpful to jot notes down into each of the sections prior to your call or email. First, the situation. Start with your name and the community you're calling from. Give a concise explanation of what you're calling about, and if possible, what you need from the manager or leader on call, such as, I need advice, or I'm not sure how to problem solve this, or I may need you to assist with a PTN issue. Secondly, give the background. What things have you already tried at the local level? Have you consulted your second and NIC, and what problem solving has already been attempted? Who has been involved so far? And what resources does the community have at the moment, such as, are there first responders? Is there a road ambulance? Next is your assessment of the situation. This is where the manager or leader needs to know what you need from them. What is the ideal outcome from your perspective? What would make you feel supported? And what resources do you need? Finally, what recommendations do you have for working through this situation? If, after consulting with your colleagues, you determine that an email is the best way to connect, ensure that you use the SBAR format. Also make sure that your documentation and communication is precise, clear, and professional. As with any situation where you're working with management to resolve concerns, Remember, the BCCNP recommends that you listen with an open mind to the manager or leader's perspective and pay attention to any new information they provide. Be prepared to work together to resolve the problem, recognizing that some negotiation and compromise may be necessary. Be as specific as possible. General statements about client safety or your license being at risk do not provide enough information to help others address concerns. Final steps. You will need to update the manager or leader as the critical event continues to unfold, including outcomes. The manager may facilitate a debrief after the event and possibly connect you with the occupational critical stress management team. You will need to complete a HACISTA report, which is FNHA's clinical quality reporting and management system. Lastly, you should notify solutions staffing for any critical or safety issues. If it is a critical incident, there is reporting that we, as your employer, are required to complete in a timely manner. You can call our after-hours and weekend clinical line. This number can be found in your information package from Solution Staffing. We hope this video helps you work through when and how to contact the FNHA manager or leader on call, and the steps you should take before doing so. If you have any questions, please let us know.